What's up, Cats fans? Paul here from the Hoops Crew to talk about this legend and how he has to get a game soon. Now, you've all heard me do this pitch recently, and so far, Mitch Hardy hasn't gotten a game yet. But what I'm noticing in the scenario of Lawson Humphries, one of our very fresh draftees, and that is, I guess, a thing that I want to make sure I disclose. He is very fresh. He's very new. And it's going to take time still for him to perhaps develop the strength that he needs. But what we're seeing from Lawson as a player in terms of on-field exploits has been amazing so far in the VFL. And it was, I think, best highlighted recently in the game against Sydney, in the VFL game against Sydney. And he's putting an amazing case forward to get drafted. Now, to get selected. And we spoke about this with Mitch Hardy, and the numbers are amazing. And I'm going to do a little bit of a deep dive on Lawson's numbers shortly. But he has been extraordinary so far this season. He's really developing into a consistent piece of the Geelong VFL puzzle. And he's playing the way that we want to see our players play in the seniors. It's been really, really good to see. Now, the thing that's been bothersome is that we're kind of continuing to cycle in and out older players who are potentially in their final season, and we've got the likes of Lawson, we've got the likes of Mitch Hardy, we've got the likes of Mitch Nevitt, who are doing amazing things in the seconds, but just can't seem to crack it when it comes to the top level yet. Mitch Nevitt's gotten some games in the past, but hasn't been able to return so far this season. And I don't know what to say. Like it's a really frustrating thing that we've got these guys who are doing a great job, and they're part of a team that is now sitting second on the ladder in the VFL and is on an 8-game winning streak, hasn't lost since its initial couple losses to Werribee and Box Hill. And Lawson is a huge part of it. And I'm just getting a whole bunch of my stats up as we speak. But the team is absolutely flying, and he's played a big part in it. And what's been really interesting to see when it comes to the way people are receiving Lawson and his form is that we're not really seeing a lot of chatter when it comes to the Geelong Football Club. We're not seeing a lot of chatter when it comes to personalities in the media yet. What I'm noticing is there's very much an undercurrent from the social media, from the fan base out there that is seeing what he's doing. They're seeing clips. They're seeing it get discussed. Lawson's exploits being discussed here on our channel or other Geelong supporting platforms. Not that they exist. We're the best. Come and see it. There's this undertow that is quite strong for Lawson Humphries right now, but we're not hearing it get acknowledged at the very top level yet. And so it makes me think that they don't believe he's written, that they're going to give him as much time as they possibly can. Just continue to do it, continue to develop your game, continue to develop your body, and we'll see you next year, potentially. But I'm making the argument that he should be getting a game sometime soon. I know we've still got a couple tough fixtures to come, but I can't help but wonder why it's not worth giving him a game. A bit like Mitch Hardy. Give him a game. Let them show us what they can do. Because we see these players come through sometimes out of nowhere. And I don't mean just at the Cats, but I mean competition-wide. Players who just explode. They get their debut, and I think of like a Marlon Pickett, for example, back in, what was that, 2019, where he debuted finals time and like exploded and has been a fixture of the Richmond Football Club ever since. Now, Lawson's story is a little bit different in that firstly, he wasn't a mid-year draftee, and so he hadn't kind of had the runs on the board through that particular season at that stage. His body's not quite as developed as what Marlon Pickett's was. But we know, and Marlon's just an example that's kind of stuck in my head because his name's come up a bit this weekend off the back of all the Dusty celebrations. But there's plenty of players that have done this where they've just been given a chance and they've grabbed the bull by the horns and they've dominated. And I don't see why, like Mitch Hardy, Lawson can't be that kind of player. So my hope is that we see a debut sooner rather than later. Maybe he is Cat 1,115, as I supposed would be the case for Mitch Hardy. Mitch made it to the emergencies recently. He was this close. We're onto something here, Cats fans. We just got to keep pushing. We've got to keep asking the question. Let's continue to do so. And the same applies here for Lawson. Why can't he be the next player to debut or the next, alongside Mitch, debut? I know we've got Some of the older blokes who need a break. We are coming off the back of a bye, though. Danger returns. But these guys, they ought to be rewarded. They're not, well, I guess I don't know what the off-field sort of exploits are and what some of the conversations are. Maybe they have a very clear understanding of what their sequence is towards making a debut, a hypothetical debut. But I'd imagine, just like Mitch Hardy, that Lawson Humphries is ticking every box so far. Let's explore some of the numbers a little bit. I'm not going to project all of this, but actually, no, hell with it. I will. Let's let's get the screen sharing going. Get the window. Boom, 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 boom. All right. This is the most recent game against the Swans where we got up by 9 points, and Lawson Humphries not only statistically, player stats, sorry, statistically had an amazing game. 28 disposals, kicked a goal, a few tackles, clearances, etc. But also, he was almost singularly responsible for putting the Swans away at the very end of the game. He stepped up when the club needed him, intercept play, kicked a goal, an amazing thing. Highlight there, the final goal of the match with just a couple minutes to go. It was an incredible effort. It was really, really well done. Next up, and we'll just keep rewinding here through the different rounds. The Tigers, not going to be able to draw on some of the specifics here, but Lawson Humphries, again, 22 disposals, 3 tackles, marks. Like, he's getting his hands on the ball a lot. He's getting in dangerous positions. He had another shot on goal. Let's do it again. Where are you? Another 21 disposals. I think the argument that could be made is, the tackle numbers, the clearance numbers, the defensive pressure, the first possession thing is something he can work on, but he's got outside qualities that are really important. And so I'd still argue deserving of a game. Let's continue. Now, we're obviously getting earlier and earlier through the season here as I explore this. 23 disposals, 1 goal, 2 tackles, 8 marks, getting his hands on the ball, goal assist there as well for good measure. If you're not familiar with what Lawson's doing, I'm hoping that just seeing some of the numbers here, 28 disposals, lead possession getter on the ground, 2 clearances, 4 tackles. We're talking about someone who's got some serious qualities. And if nothing else, can really accumulate it. 22 disposals. Another goal. He's hitting the scoreboard once every 1 to 2 weeks as well. It's awesome. It's exactly what you want to see. Lawson Humphries, where are you? 20 disposals. He hasn't dropped below 20 so far. Consistency. The consistency is what's really impressing me here. We're almost back to the earlier stage of the season now. The Bull Ants, where we smacked him around a bit. Disposals. Lawson Humphries, 25 and a goal. The Hawks. This was our final loss of the season up to this particular point. Touch wood. Lawson Humphries, 24 disposals in a losing team. It doesn't he's not a flat track bully either. He's doing it when we're winning. He's doing it when we're losing. And then we go back to the first game of the season for the Cats. What do you do there? 15 disposals. The only time for the entire season, his first season of football, where he couldn't get over 20 disposals was his very first game. And since then, he's been lighting it up and been right up there with the best on ground every single week. Cats fans, I don't know about you, but I think this guy absolutely needs to be in the starting team very soon. And I know the argument could be made that is also very soon. But give the guy a chance. Help him get a bit of a sense of the speed of that game, and then go back to the seconds and hone your craft further. There's opportunities there. There's things that we can explore in his game. So let's do it. Cats fans, let me know what you think. Lawson Humphries, Mitch Hardy, when are they going to get a game? When are we going to see Mitch Nevitt back out there? When are some of the other guys, George Stevens and guys, that, again, you would have noticed his name popping up quite a bit as we were scrolling through these, especially the more recent weeks. He's starting to light it up as well. There is so much talent in the seconds, especially through the midfield. And when our midfield is struggling, this is where we give these guys opportunity. Please do it. Cats fans, get vocal online. Make sure it's heard that Lawson Humphries, Mitch Hardy, any of the other blokes that we've just spoken about are on the radar. That questions are being asked of the club. Where are these blokes at? What does it take for them to make their debut? Because they're kicking the door down and they're not quite making the cut yet. So what do they need to do? Can the club acknowledge them? That's what I'm really wanting to hear. I'd love to hear the club acknowledge more of what they're doing, put it on the radar of the media start asking the questions. It becomes this cyclical thing which leads to debuts, it leads to opportunity. Hopefully they get it soon. Cats fans, subscribe to the Hoops Crew on YouTube. Check out all our social feeds. Visit our Patreon where you can get 1 week of free exclusive access. Check out all of the stuff that we offer there and then consider sticking around afterwards for a very small price of about a coffee for a month. A coffee for a month. Not one coffee a day for a month. One coffee for the entire month gets you access to a whole bunch of early recordings and more. Check out all the stuff that we've got there. You can find me on socials. Thank you, as always, to our sponsor, Valhalla Brewing. It's amazing to work with you. Cats fans, remain Geelong strong, and I'll see you later.